Morning everyone, Frank from 5am Ramen checking in from snowy Hakodate. It's about -7 outside, but not that windy so you don't feel the chill as much, but still cold enough and perfect for ramen. Today I'm introducing some awesome food in Hakodate here, but we're actually not starting with ramen. I'm going to the biggest fish market in Hakodate and I'm starting off with a bowl of sashimi on top of rice, or seafood on top of rice, kaisendon. Let's get this big food day started. Welcome to 5am Ramen, your portal to the wonderful world of ramen in Japan. I'm Frank, and I travel far and wide for ramen. I'm doing that just now, having traveled to Japan's northernmost island, Hokkaido. Hokkaido is like Japan's version of Alaska, remote and with gorgeous scenery, but it's got amazing food too. Hokkaido cities are different from cities in the rest of Japan. They have a younger, more Western feel to them, especially Hakodate, where I am now. Hakodate is Hokkaido's third largest city, and in terms of cityscape, it's my favorite on the island. Stick around, as we'll be doing some Hakodate sightseeing towards the end. It's a cold day today. I'll suffer outside while all of you can enjoy the sights from the comfort of your living rooms. Also, this is the second episode in a big Hokkaido ramen series. In the previous first episode, we ate 2 bowls of shio ramen, the local Hakodate specialty, one of them from a ramen bus. We even went to the top of Mount Hakodate. I'm not starting the day with ramen. I know, I'm not sure how my body will react. Hakodate Asaichi, or morning market, is the city's largest fish market. We're visiting Ajidokoro Kikuyo Shokudo, which is probably the most famous seafood restaurant in the market. They have a history going back to 1956 and serve kaisendon, which is sashimi on top of rice. Their kaisendon comes with 1 topping, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7 toppings. I settle for 3 toppings, choosing sea urchin, scallops, and salmon roe. And here I am after finishing this sashimi breakfast. Oh, I love this. The snow is coming down pretty hard. I say hard, but it's coming down in a gentle way. And I've been to Hakodate before, just not in the winter. And it's so different, of course. There's a certain amount of charm, I think, when there's this fresh blanket of snow over the city, including the market. And it's fun just walking by. You know, it is a touristy spot, of course, the market. And a lot of those kaisendon places are catering to tourists. You know, they've got big signs outside. Hey, this is what we serve. But that's part of the experience. I enjoyed the uni, hotate, and ikura kaisendon, sea urchin, scallop, and roe. I was debating whether to get the regular size or the mini size, as they call it. I first ordered the mini size, and then 10 seconds later I was like, hey, can you make that a regular? And I'm glad I did, because even the regular, it's not that big. You do get a fair amount of seafood on top, and there is quite a bit of rice, but it wasn't overwhelming. The mini would have been tiny, so I'm glad I got the regular. Nothing like fresh seafood to start the morning. I don't think I need to go into details about how sea urchin, roe, or scallops taste when they're fresh and raw, but it was tasty, of course. All right, I'm gonna make my way back to the hotel now, check out, and get ready for round 2. Round 2 is ramen. Can't go too long without ramen. We're visiting Ajisai, the flag bearer for the local ramen style, Hakodate Shio, or salt seasoned ramen. Ajisai started in 1930 as a Chinese restaurant. Today, they have several branches. We're visiting Ajisai's main restaurant. They've been in this building for 30+ years. They've got a pretty big menu. Miso ramen, shoyu ramen, the works. Naturally though, I'm ordering the top-selling shio ramen. The light Chinese cuisine influenced soup has a lot going into it. Pork bones, chicken bones, and kelp. The seasoning is salt, dried shellfish, dried sardines, dried squid, and scallops, along with other ingredients. The soup is also topped off with chicken oil and pork back fat. So even though it's light, it packs a punch as well. Among toppings, there's a mysterious, fluffy-looking ingredient. This is something you only get in Hakodate Shio Ramen. More on this now with my recap. When I was packing, it's not really something I thought about. I saw the sunglasses there. I was like, I'm going to a snowy place. I didn't grab them. But the sun is so bright that I wish I did bring them, especially when it's reflecting off the snow. Anyways, legendary Shio Ramen at Ajisai. And it was everything I expected it to be. A simply great or greatly simple bowl of Shio Ramen. Compared to the two other bowls I had yesterday of Shio Ramen, this was even lighter. It wasn't as oily as Shinano. It was a salty Shio Ramen, but not as salty either as what I had yesterday. But it was full of flavor, a wonderfully bright flavor, and what you could taste more here were the fish elements. The nice thing is that they've got a lot of space. For lunch, you gotta go up to the second floor. No problem as to ordering. For those visiting from abroad, because they have English menus, everything's easy to understand. Staff are friendly. They're a well-oiled machine. Medium thick noodles, as has been the case here in Hakodate. Soft chashu pork, egg. There was a whole lot of negi in there too, floating about, making the soup that was fish leaning, also sweeter. Naruto fish cake, but most importantly, that fu, or wheat gluten. This is a Hakodate staple. It's soft and spongy, and it soaked up the soup like a ramen topping sponge. Legendary ramen shop that I'm happy to cross off the list. There's an instant ramen based on this regional ramen style, Hakodate Shio Ramen. It's one of my personal favorites with a bright and umami-packed soup that includes scallop extract. There's even a fu topping. From Instant Ramen Japan, order the premium instant ramen pack and you'll get 5 special regional ramen from around Japan, including this one from Hakodate. Use the coupon code Hakodate at checkout so we know to send you this and so you get a discount. Okay, next up is round 3 and we're grabbing a burger. This is at Lucky Piero, a burger chain that only exists in Hakodate. They've got several branches throughout the city. They're hard to miss. Lucky Piero is quite the experience. When I've been to Hakodate in the past, I've enjoyed a number of things on the menu, from katsukare to their fries, which are drenched in a cheese and demi-glaze sauce. But this is a burger chain, first and foremost, and the burger to order is their Chinese chicken burger. More on this burger from me on the ground now. This is a wacky place. First of all, Lucky Piero, they only have branches in Hakodate. For a city that's relatively small, a lot of branches. It's pretty crazy. So beloved by locals and such a random wacky theme and interior. And since I visited before, it seems like they've really souped up their merch section. There was even ramen there. I think 4 different types of ramen that you could take home. Lucky Piero branded ramen. And they've got a huge menu, but the item you definitely have to order is the Chinese chicken burger. Pretty simple. It's got lettuce, a whole lot of mayo, and a sweet tasting sauce with big chunks of fried chicken that are crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. Delicious burger and a good price for what you pay. I had to put on a glove because it got so cold. The hand I'm holding the phone with right now. And I'm in a parking lot. People are probably like, who's this crazy guy dressed like Darth Vader, but with a white jacket instead of a black one? So food-wise, that takes care of it in Hakodate, but I'm gonna show you a couple awesome touristy spots now and get out of this snow. Let's do a little sightseeing. First up, the Kanemori Red Brick Warehouse area. The warehouses here were all built in 1869, and today they've been converted into shops and restaurants. I'm almost at the Red Brick Warehouse area and it is cold. And there's another Lucky Piero, of course, across the street I can see. But right up ahead, I can see the warehouse area. I'm gonna go jump inside somewhere where it's nice and warm. I don't know where I put my gloves either. I might have left them on a bus. I indeed did lose my gloves, so filming was a little tougher with my hands exposed to the cold. I seek shelter in Starbucks. It's a cool building because they've designed it to match the surroundings. Inside, I warm up and do a bit of work. Now, I'm not like a Starbucks fanatic or anything like that, but it is nice to go to different parts of the country and see how the local Starbucks reflects the area in the architecture. Here, I feel very much like I'm in a ski lodge, and it's a nice, cozy escape from the temperatures outside. More than a district, it's really just a few red brick warehouses, but it is still nice. And one of the things that makes Hakodate unique. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. After finishing up my coffee at Starbucks, like some sort of glutton for punishment, I decide to hike up to the Hakodate Hills overlooking the city. Hakodate, a port city, has a lot of European turn-of-the-century style buildings, and you'll find them in these hills. This is the Motomachi Roman Catholic Church. You can see the top of Mount Hakodate in the distance too, with the gondola. This is where I was yesterday. Some places let you wander around inside for a small entrance fee. This includes the impressive Old Public Hall of Hakodate Ward. It's a local landmark and a beautiful building. You'll feel like royalty, especially looking out at the city from the top floor. The former British consulate of Hakodate is also open to the public. Inside, you'll get to learn a lot about Hakodate's history. It even has a tea room facing a rose garden, but this was probably not the right season to use it. Lastly, there's a discount if you visit 2 to 4 of these historical structures on the same day. After my wanderings, I found myself back at Hachimanzaka. This particular hill faces the water and is an iconic photo spot in Hakodate. It's also great for closing out videos. Not a bad spot to close out the video. Look at that behind me. Beautiful, beautiful. This is probably the most famous spot in all of Hakodate. You gotta love the hills here. And I hope you enjoyed this Hakodate ramen / other food video. And if that's the case, please do subscribe if you haven't already and hit that like button. Frank from 5am Ramen signing out. And I'm gonna sign out too before my hands fall off. Thanks for tuning in. They're a well-oiled machine. They're a well-oiled machine. They're a well-oiled machine. I'm not sure who this dude is. He's on their website and also on the walls inside the restaurant. Not as quiet as it sounded when I did the outro. You gotta school just getting out here, so they're having fun, as they should be. It's nice you have these little paths here on either side. I remember in the summer when I came here with my dad, we were driving. That was one of the last times I drove. That was a while ago. And we used the parking lot right across the street here. This is crazy. My bus back to the hotel, look at that. 16:33, 4:33 p.m. There's only one bus the whole day. And that's the one I'm waiting for. In the next video, I'm in Sapporo, miso ramen country. There will be a ridiculous amount of ramen eating in Sapporo. Make sure to tune into that episode when it's out, episode 3 in this Hokkaido ramen series. Thanks for watching.